All right, let's talk about something we do all the time, consumer unit changes. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why going with a full RCBO board every single time isn't just some nice-to-have upgrade. It is, frankly, the only smart choice for your business, your bottom line, and your clients. Okay, so let's get right into it. What's in it for you? Well, for starters, we're talking about way faster fault finding when you're on a job. We're talking about way fewer of those annoying callbacks for nuisance trips. And honestly, it's about marking your work as top quality and making sure that installation is future-proofed for whatever comes next.
All right, first things first. Let's talk about the why. You know the scene, right? You walk into a property and there it is, that ancient rewirable fuse box. It's so important that we're clear not just for ourselves, but for the customer on why these things aren't just a big dated, they're a serious, genuine risk. I mean, just look at the difference here. It's absolutely night and day. An old rewirable fuse gives you zero, and I mean zero protection against electric shock. It just can't handle the loads of a modern home, not a chance. And you know it's an automatic fail on an EICR. An RCBO isn't just a little bit better. It's playing a completely different sport when it comes to safety.
So, here's the bottom line. When you're explaining the need for an upgrade, this is what you're really talking about. You're tackling these key failures head on. You're not just swapping a box, you are removing a serious fire hazard, you're putting in life-saving RCD protection, and you're making sure their electrical system can actually handle life in the 21st century. Okay, so the customer is on board, they're getting an upgrade. Now comes the big decision, right? Do you go for that cheaper dual RCBI board, or do you install a full RCBO board? Well, let me tell you, this is exactly where the real professionals separate themselves from the rest. So let's just imagine a really common scenario. Someone's in the kitchen, they switch on a faulty kettle, and boom, the protection device trips. What happens next in the house? And more importantly, what does the homeowner experience? And here it is, the moment of truth. With a dual RCD board, half the house goes dark. Total blackout. The lights are off, the router's dead, the fridge is off, the customer is in a panic. But with an all-RCBO board, just the kitchen sockets go off. Everything else, the lights, the Wi-Fi, the freezer, it all stays on. For the customer, this is a completely different world. It's the difference between a major drama and a minor inconvenience.
Okay, let's get into the practical side of things, actually fitting one of these. Look, installing a full RCBO board isn't just a like-for-like swap. It's your chance to really show your workmanship and make sure that installation is absolutely spot on from start to finish.
Now, listen up, because this is crucial. Before you even think about touching the old board, there are 3 things you absolutely have to do. First, test the existing wiring. Get that insulation resistance checked for any nasty surprises. Second, label everything, I mean every phase and every neutral. And third, verify your earthing and bonding. Trust me, doing this prep work up front is going to save you a world of pain later on.
And this right here, this is so important. This isn't just my 2 cents. This is a stone-cold fact from the industry. Poor terminations are the number one cause of thermal damage. A loose connection is, quite literally, a ticking time bomb. So what's the fix? It's simple, and it's not optional. You have to use a calibrated torque screwdriver on every single connection. This isn't about being picky or going by the book for the sake of it. It is a hard requirement of BS 7671. It's the only way to guarantee every termination is solid, safe, and built to last. All right, let's talk about the payoff. And for your business, this is the big one. We all know time is money, right? Well, nothing kills your profit and your schedule like having to drive back to a job to sort out a problem for free. This number right here, 0. That is the goal. That's the dream, isn't it? The ideal number of callbacks for nuisance tripping. And that is exactly what a properly installed all-RCBO board gets you. It protects your time, yeah, but it also protects your hard-earned reputation.
So why do we get those phantom trips on dual RCD boards anyway? Well, the culprit is usually something called cumulative earth leakage. Think about it. All our modern gadgets, computers, TVs, phone chargers, they all leak a tiny bit of current to Earth. It's normal. But on a shared RCD, all those little leaks add up and up and up until, bang, the RCD trips and there's no actual fault to be found. And this is why RCBOs are the perfect solution to that problem, because each RCBO is only looking at one circuit
that buildup of leakage from multiple circuits, well, it just can't happen. The system becomes incredibly stable, which means no more nuisance trips. Simple as that.
So here's the question you have to ask yourself. Is your next job just going to be another upgrade, or is it going to be a permanent professional solution? When you make an all-RCBO board your go-to standard, you're not just swapping a box on the wall. You're making a conscious choice to deliver a safer, more reliable system that solves problems before they even start. And that is the mark of a true professional.